My next panel group, bless their hearts, they're coming on. They're our leaders from the A.M.E. Zion Church. This will be on our PHEN Church partnership uh, initiatives that we've been doing with, we have the A.M.E. Church that we've signed a master agreement with all of their churches, and we've had the C.M.E. Church, and we've had plenty of Baptist conventions and others that we're doing that I think is very key because what they do is spread this information and make sure as we talk about our church portals, as I mentioned with the A.M.E. Church with the pastor from Florida, where he had 100 of his churches in his district come on and sign on. It's all about information and education and access to free materials. And I think that's what's key. And we are so excited, extremely excited. These are my friends that since January, they ought to be sick of me by now, that I have graciously, they've been so great with me. We have joined as PHEN, as an organization, in terms of when we say faith and partnerships with the African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church. And I'm very happy and proud because I couldn't have met a greater group of leaders. And when our program started in Charlotte, and the Reverend Blue, Dr. Blue, was there, and presiding elder Scott Moore. They had three, I think it was three bishops that also showed up. And I'm sure they'll tell that story. And then Dr. Beysolow was there. And then with presiding elder Moore in his church up here in Maryland, we had Reverend Lowe for the health fair. They were part of that 5-church hit that I hit down here in the Maryland area, big sweep in June and July. And so today we are having them on, and they will be talking about what role should the A.M.E. Zion Church and other community organizations play in effectively closing the prostate cancer disparity gap through their programs. Now, I can tell you that this group here, they have been busy. They made me lose this side of the half my head. And when you saw Reverend Scott Moore, Presiding Elder Moore, you saw his passion. He is, I mean, he really is excited. And Dr. Blue, he doesn't lighten up either. He immediately moved us down to places like Yale, just connecting. They're connectors. Everybody, you have to understand this denomination is connectional, and they will connect. And Dr. Beysolow, oh my goodness, she and Reverend Lowe, you talking about organized people? They're organized. They're gonna keep you straight with where you need to be. So I'm gonna express a little bit about each one. As I said, Reverend Scott Moore is also the representative of the Men of Zion for the National A.M.E. Zion Church. He represents that along with being senior pastor at Judah Temple A.M.E. Zion Church in Mitchellville, Maryland. Reverend Dr. Blue, Derrill Blue, he is the pastor of Little Rock A.M.E. Zion Church in Charlotte, North Carolina. We had a phenomenal rally there at Charlotte, was very successful. And then we have Reverend Crystal Lowe, who's the social minister charged with the health affairs programs of the Judah A.M.E. Zion Church in Mitchellville, Maryland. And then we have Dr. Yabo Beysolow, who's been a great supportive person, who's the director of the health ministry for the A.M.E. Zion Church. Welcome, my friends. And what I want to do is, again, the question is, what role should the A.M.E. Zion Church and other community organizations play in effectively closing the prostate cancer disparity gap through your programs? I want to start with you, Presiding Elder Scott, because you kind of set that bar. You certainly had us have the bishops there. And then I'm going to jump. So I'm going to move from the national level of the church, even though I know, you got to watch it because he'll swing in either way. And then I got Dr. Beysolow at the national level. And then I want to hit Dr. Blue, because thing about it is that they don't play. When we bring those men in there, they're the first one in line rolling up their sleeves to get tested. I saw what was going on. And then you, Reverend Lowe, she put on quite a bit of program. And so I want to start with you, Reverend Moore, and then you, Dr. Beysolow, and then I'm going to jump to you, Dr. Blue, and I want to close out with you, Reverend Lowe. And then I certainly hope that there are other church and other groups that might have questions for you. So let me be quiet. Thank you. Welcome.
Well, first, let me thank you, Reverend Backus. You have been a tremendous host, and you've had a plethora of dynamic presenters and panelists thus far. And so I've just been blessed by the entire presentation thus far. So thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing us to be a part of the process. We want to also thank Mr. Thomas Farrington, Dr. Farrington, for allowing us to participate with PHEN. The role that the A.M.E. Zion Church should take. Now, I'm taking some privilege in speaking on behalf of the A.M.E. Zion Church. Well, Dr. Beysolow, she has more authority for the entire church because she is the director of health for the entire church. I'm just the executive director of the men and the men of Zion. And so we work together and we have partnered with the health ministry, the Men of Zion, under the authority of our board of bishops, our senior bishop, Bishop Derrill B. Starnes, and the president of the board of bishops, Bishop Brian R. Thompson. We've partnered with we've come together and we have made the decision that the awareness and getting the information out is a priority for the A.M.E. Zion Church. Many may know, but for those that don't know, the A.M.E. Zion Church is known as the Freedom Church. And when you go back and chase our history, this is a part of who we are. Not just the religious education and religious training and teaching and spiritual formation and all that, but we also have our social justice and being a part of the community is important to us. And so, as the executive director of the men for the entire denomination, which is worldwide, we have churches on 5 of 7 continents in the world. And so we have been getting the information out because personally, it's a passion for me. And we've made it a priority for the denomination. And so we've been getting the word out as best we can. And I was listening to Dr. Reverend Hardy from the Sons of Allen, the A.M.E. They partner. We partnered together. Also, Reverend Smoke from the CME Church. We've worked together. We've done some things. I actually literally have a meeting with Reverend Edgar de Jesus, who is the head of Wesley Men. That's a part of the World Methodist organization. And we have a meeting on tomorrow. And this is a part of the agenda because we're trying to get it out to the millions of men who call themselves Methodists throughout the entire world. It's passionate. It's really a passion and it's important. And so I am just blessed by the fact that there have been many, many men since January, since we signed the partnership, that have been early detected. They've gotten tested. They found out their PSA numbers were elevated. They found out about it. They've gone through the process and they have been detected early. And so they have a wonderful testimony. And so it's exciting. It's exciting. It's exciting. Thank you, Reverend Backus. I'm gonna stop talking because I can talk a little bit, not as much as you, but I can talk a little bit.
Well, thank you. That is a wonderful report. Dr. Beysolow, I tell you, she's so tired of getting emails from me, but bless her heart, she's always still looking like fresh as a rose. Talk to me, Dr. Beysolow.
Thank you. Thank you first for this wonderful opportunity, not only to you, Reverend Backus, but to the entire PHEN leadership, Dr. Farrington, and also giving honor to our Episcopal leadership, as Presiding Elder Moore just stated, our 12 bishops of the A.M.E. Zion Church, our chair of the Health Committee, Bishop George Crenshaw. But really, this collaboration means so much because when we think of the A.M.E. Zion Church, we have over 1,000 congregations and over 1 million congregants. And so we have not only a global reach, but a national, district, and a local level reach. And so as Presiding Elder Moore was stating, we come at this initiative from all those levels. And really, we need to start thinking holistically. Health is ministry. What do I mean by that? That means we have that faith-based approach to health. We are promoting the holistic well-being within our communities, not only the body, but the mind and the spirit as well. And we also realize that health is a gift from God, it's a privilege. And so with the health ministry of the A.M.E. Zion Church, our vision is to not only increase awareness, of chronic illnesses and illnesses that plague us, but to decrease health disparities and also promote self-advocacy. So when we were introduced to this initiative, we've always been doing work within the communities addressing not only prostate cancer, but breast cancer and so many other cancers. But this was just an awesome opportunity to share the word globally across our congregations. We are starting to do this work at the national level since this MOU. So back in July at the Connectional Lay Council, where we had lay leaders. For those of you who may not be as familiar with the church, laity means you're not clergy, you're not the pastors, etc. But the lay leaders from across the country were present, and we had a health ambassadors luncheon with over 80 of those lay leaders, and we basically shared with them resources, including PHEN resources. Even though you weren't there, we passed out all your information. We had a presentation on prostate health. The goal is that they can then take those back to their congregations and their communities and share the word. We also have one upcoming. Thank you for supporting us in October at the district level, the Northeast Episcopal District Leadership Institute. We'll have a similar luncheon where PHEN will be present and share some of that information. So, I mean, really, it's an opportunity that is awesome because we're empowering the entire family. As we said before, prostate cancer is a family disease. And so we need to address the entire family in our efforts as we stomp out this dreadful disease. But thank you again so much for this opportunity.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Reverend Dr. Blue, it's good to see you.
Good to see you, my
sir.
friend. Thank you for this invitation. And as both President Elder Moore and Dr. Beysolow said, we just appreciate your partnership and opportunity to be able to do this work as a joint venture. One of the ways in which we've combated this and taken our approach, we're grateful because March 10th, you were able to come on. We had our radio show with the Community Health Watch. And so that's one of the ways in which we have spread the word through the radio waves, also through other social media platforms, just letting people know, the resources that are available and some of the things that we have continued to do after we were able to host the event at the Little Rock Church. So we have continued the conversation and we're planning other events so that our men can come out, get tested, and partnering with other entities there so that way we can get the word out because it is a serious matter and we don't want to rest until everyone goes out, takes the test, or well, I'd say and also let other people know what's available to them. And so that's the main approach that we've kind of taken since we hosted in January.
Well, I think one thing I can say very quickly is that I from the testimonies and reports I've gotten from you all, I can definitely understand that it's making a difference because I've gotten some testimonies and some very powerful ones from the church. Reverend Lowe, it's so good to see you. Tell me about what's happening there, especially Judith. We are so thankful and grateful. You were such a great host for us for the health fair for both us and Howard University, and the screenings that took place there. And then I've enjoyed my Sunday services with a pastor that's so very lively, not only in terms of preaching the word, but also can sing the song of grace. So I thank you so much for being there, Reverend Lowe, because you kind of hold it down with the other pastors there so it doesn't totally soar up in the air. Tell me about how you feel about what we're doing and where you're going, what your plans might be that you can share with others. Thank you.
Well, we thank you so much for the opportunity to partner with you for PHEN and for the important work that is being done. And as far as the health fair is concerned, we are so grateful for the opportunity that we had to be able to broaden our audience and then expand our outreach in this area. Because in the beginning of our planning, we were, just trying to figure out different areas, health concerns, health disparities, different things, topics to bring forth. And, we had the blood donation mobile and diabetes and fitness, mental health, and various other areas. And thanks to Dr. Beysolow, who's on our health team at the church level, she mentioned PHEN, which we also knew Pastor Moore was with Men of Zion. And that gave us an opportunity to partner with you because our health fair was already scheduled for June. And that just opened up the door for us to have a part in the rally for June. And so we were just grateful and thankful to have that area that we could be able to share with others the importance of prostate health screenings and things. And while we were promoting blood donation, we were able to also say, and while you're giving blood, also come and get screened and also come and get blood pressure and then also come and do these things. So it wasn't just one thing. When people came, they were able to get health in various areas, and then having the separate rooms and Dr.
Yes.
Shelton being able to have that one-on-one consultations with persons, and then just having people available to just share. Like you said, he called it the barbershop. They call it the barbershop, where people, they're able to come in and have just a personal conversation that they might not have with other people in a big setting. And so we're just thankful to have been a part, at what we call the grassroots level, because, we were able to do things from the bottom up. They're the Men of Zion's top down, and the health ministry for the Zion is top down, and things, it's a bigger. And so we were able to do our little event cards and our flyers and our banner and just have TV interviews where people, were able to see the banner, outside of the church and
Yeah.
call us and ask to be interviewed because
Yeah.
they thought that, having PSA screenings and blood donation, they thought that that was really great for the community to know. And so, on our grassroots level, we went out in the streets and talked to people and handed out the cards. And when they asked what it was about, just do you have any, if it was women, do you have any men in your life that you feel should be
Yeah.
screened? Just come. And so we're just thankful, and we will continue to partner because we have the two top down people in Judah. And so this is going to be a continued effort for us, but
Well,
we're going to do it from the bottom up.
Well, I think it's great. I mean, you all are so highly organized. We moved this thing fast after what happened, Dr. Blue in Charlotte, and and it was so gracious because I will never ever forget Pastor Moore and Dr. Beysolow, that you all were so kind and committed that you took a flight. You had a meeting to attend, and y'all flew down for that rally that we had in Charlotte and turned around to fly back for your other meeting back home. That's commitment. That's commitment to saving lives. That's commitment to God's grace in terms of what's needed right now in this world with humanity, and certainly in this issue of prostate cancer. It's not something to be overlooked. It's something about the life of the family. And so I thank you in the life of these men. And so I thank you for all that you've done. Tamika, are there any questions that might come before this denominational effort that we're doing in terms of partnerships?
Hey, Jared. I think there were just some general questions about how to get involved with becoming a church partner. So I would say to the pastors and the denomination, the A.M.E. Zion on the screen, what can others do in terms of not just going to PHEN partner website, but how do you use these resources within the church to help support other things like prayer calls or in-person meetings or any prostate cancer support groups or cancer support group meetings? How have you been leveraging PHEN resources?
I can start with, I'm so sorry.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead. Sure, certainly, Dr. Beysolow.
Sure, just at the national level, we have an opportunity through two mechanisms. We have the Star of Zion, which is a newsletter that goes out globally, and also A.M.E. Zion TV, where we can broadcast again nationally and globally. And we are sharing the PHEN resources through a dedicated portal that PHEN has designed for the A.M.E. Zion Church. And we can put that link in the chat, and you'll see we have a web page, a web portal on the PHEN site where pastors from the A.M.E. Zion Church can go and download materials and share with their congregation. So that's one of the ways in which we're sharing, as well as sharing directly at conferences as well.
Yep. Powerful, powerful. Anything else, Ms.
We
Miller?
follow,
Oh, no, who else? Did someone else? Dr. Blue? Go
yes, I
ahead.
was going to say we follow the same suit. We just do it on a local level, using our local health ministries every month, meeting and then pointing to those resources that are available that FEN provided to us. And so that's one of the ways that we have utilized and helped to keep the information present and in front of our members.
Yeah. And Dr. Blue, you've been helpful too with the recent, just putting us in touch with all of you, putting us in touch with the people at Yale University, but more
Right.
so of Dr. Perry and others, that cultural ambassador group, the A.M.E. Zion Church up in the New Haven area. All of you have been finding ways to connect and share this information. I think that's what's been really, really good, is that you've been sharing that. If your
Right.
church wants to have your own portal, you can fill out. Okay, I see that now. That's from Miss Meredith. Any other questions, Miss Miller?
Nope, that was it. I think just if churches wanted to fill out and have their own portal, Meredith did put the link into the chat.
Okay, so I think, do you all have any questions for us or anything other advice to do better and whatever it might be? We would certainly hear that, but any of you have any other last comments to make?
Well, Reverend Backus, I would just want to once again say thank you for the work that FEN is doing, because it is making a tremendous impact in our communities. And I would just encourage all those that are a part to get the word out, one person at a time, one man at a time. We think about the massive numbers, but if you just let one person know, then they let one person know, and they let one person. Before you know it, we'll be seeing the numbers that FEN has been seeing. And so every opportunity we get at our men's meetings, June was Men's Health Month, and so every week we had a presenter come in, but we always lifted up FEN and prostate health awareness. And so every chance we get, we're sharing about health, but from the Men of Zion perspective, men's health. And so thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you all for being on. It's been a great day at this time. I want to thank all of my guests who came and shared so much information to really lift our spirits and provide hope on the work that we are doing in the community with the faith and partnership arrangements that we have. And at this time, I'd like very much to pass this over to our president and founder, Mr. Thomas Farrington. Mr. Farrington.